Well, good morning. And as my quote says, life goes on. I like Robert Frost said. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But we have birthdays today. Is Bernie Stasiuk, Stasiuk. Today's Bernie's birthday. So Bernie, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bernie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, you're the only one that told me it was your birthday today, so happy birthday. But we have an anniversary today because today is the 25th anniversary of Ray and Edie over at Edie's Adventures. Today's their 25th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great anniversary. I know they're not celebrating it till tomorrow because she's got a busy day today. So the election is over, finally. I accept the results. I do believe it was a fair and honest election, and as an American, I accept it. I'm a little disappointed in my neighbors because so many people that were Harris supporters had their flags out and they took them down. I don't know if they took them down as a protest or what, but this is the American process. Every 4 years you elect somebody, and there's always going to be one side that's not happy. So that's the way it goes. But you can't see it because I'm in the front of my house, but I still have my flag going there, and I have my flag on my house because I am proud to be an American, and I like that we have the choice that we can make, and not everybody can win. So that's the way it goes. I'm just looking forward to supporting him, and hopefully he does good. Well, we all have that hope, no matter who we elect, and I accept the results. I do. That's part of the process, and I just hope that people accept it. Is all I can say, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get all political here, although I just did. It's just would I have liked Harris to win? We all know that's who I voted for, but you know what? She didn't win. That's the way it goes. That's the democracy. It's a democracy in action, and I'm proud of the way we do things in this country. So we'll go from there. Jim wants to get some tennis shoes because he likes Skechers, and we have a Skechers store that's over by Christy's house, basically. I think it's closer to Christy's house than here. So we're gonna go over there so he can get some because he's leaving Monday. I think he's leaving Monday to go hunting. Hunting season doesn't start till the 15th, but he's leaving on the 11th. So he already got all of his hunting clothes packed. He went and bought some special detergent, did his own laundry, washed all of his hunting clothes, and so all he's got to pack is his regular clothes, which I'll wait till the weekend to do that, and then he'll go and get some groceries and stuff. He buys his own groceries down here and brings it up. He makes some stuff too. He makes a batch of chili and brings that up, and then I usually make a big batch of mustacholi sauce, and then they just make the noodles themselves. They just have the sauce up there while they're. I think I got some in the freezer now that I'm thinking about it. You could probably put that in his cooler. Yeah, I think I do have some in the freezer. But I'm going to have some leftover chicken. I'm going to have some salad. I haven't decided if I'm going to make a chicken salad sandwich or if I am going to just put some chicken on a salad, which are two entirely different things. I was trying to explain that to Jim. He says, you're saying chicken salad and you're having salad on a chicken. No, different. But it's another beautiful day. I would agree with Edie when I was watching her the other day. It's just look how blue the sky is. The tree's already lost all of its leaves. I still got some, show you. Still got some on that. A few. But across the street, they still got lots of leaves on their tree. So I'm going to wait I'll probably rake the front myself and just have the kids do the backyard. Because it's not that much out here in front. What I'd like to do is just rake them to the street and let them blow away. Take the easy way out. That's what I really want to do, but that's not what I'm going to do. It would be nice to do that. But I slept with my window open last night because it's gorgeous out here. It's 67 degrees right now. It's a little breezy, but I have a long sleeve shirt on. But I don't need a jacket because it's that nice. It's just so gorgeous. But then I woke up this morning and my plantar fasciitis is kind of bothering me a little bit. So I have some socks that I had the last time I had the problem that you wear for when you have that problem. Excuse me. And I'm going to wear my shoes around the house a little bit more today so that, kind of build up that arch support a little bit. And I didn't get my 8,000 steps in yesterday, but I did get 6,732 in. So I still got quite a few steps in, which I was happy about. I didn't walk as much because I was kind of glued to the TV. I ended up going to bed a little bit earlier than I normally do. I went to bed about 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. So, but my phone started pinging in the morning when everybody was calling me about the results. And here he is. I think he's out here already. I think he's out. So we're getting ready to go. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. There he is. Well, we decided to come see a movie today after we went and got Jim's shoes. And let's get out of the way so they don't think we're in line here. Anyway, we went to see the movie here with Tom Hanks. And we lasted how long, Jim? 10 minutes?
It might have been longer than that. It might have been 15 or 20 minutes, but it was like total crap.
It was bad. It was so bad.
We've never, ever walked out on a movie.
No. So we came out. There's hardly anybody here. There's only one concession stand open. And so we asked for a manager. I thought the most they could tell me is no. So they're going to give us passes to come to another show another time. So it doesn't hurt to ask, but
we've sat through some bad movies, but never left.
No, it was
I couldn't stand it any longer.
It makes no sense. It jumps around from back to the dinosaurs.
The whole movie takes place in one room at one angle.
Right, starting with the dinosaurs. Anyway, here comes our manager, a very nice manager.
Here are those 2 passes.
Thank you. Okay, anyway, we got a free coupon for a free popcorn, and then we got 2 passes to come back all the way up to February 6th of 2025. So like Jim said, didn't hurt to ask. You know me, I'll ask. The most they could have told me is no. All right, now we're going to go home. Well, we're home now, and I just finished eating. I talked to all 3 of my kids already today. I talked to Danny, I talked to Jimmy, and I talked to Christy. Of course, I talked to my brother Michael, and I talked to my sister Denise, and I talked to my sister Mary. I was on the phone a lot today. I've been texting back and forth with my sister-in-law Barb. I talked to my girlfriend Kathy. Who else have I talked to? Lori Palowski. We've been talking back and forth on Facebook Messenger. Sparkling Susan. Went to the show. Went and got Jim new shoes. I've had a busy day, let me tell you. I had a salad for lunch with some cottage cheese and pineapple. My salad, I had some leftover chicken from the other night. I had another chicken breast that I already cooked. I've never, ever put a chicken breast that I've already cooked in the freezer. Has anybody ever done that that's going to work? I'm assuming it'll work because I have bought like the Tyson frozen chicken bites, and those are all fully cooked already anyhow. So I don't know. I've put spaghetti sauce. I put meatloaf. I guess I can put chicken. I've always made the extra piece and ate it the next day. The breasts that I cooked on Monday were exceptionally large. I could only eat half of the chicken breast on Monday. And then yesterday, I don't know what. Oh, we went to the Dairy Queen. I was just so anxious about the election. I had to eat something, so I went to the Dairy Queen, and I had a vanilla with some strawberry topping on top of it. That was my dinner. And then we went for pancakes for breakfast. I had pancakes and a glass of milk for breakfast. So anyway, so that I had this other piece of chicken, and tomorrow I'm going with my sister Mary and my daughter Christy. We're bringing her downtown. She has a 3:00 doctor's appointment, which means we're going to be all in that rush hour traffic coming home. So I'm probably not going to get home till like 7 o'clock, which is going to be a scary ride home because the sun goes down at 5 o'clock. Christy's car is in the auto shop, so we're going to take my car. Christy's going to drive, but then I have the 25-minute drive home after dark. Coming home, if it's too dark, like if it's like a dusky dark, you know what? I don't understand why it is, but the morning before dawn darkness doesn't seem to bother me as much as the after dusk darkness. It's the after dusk darkness seems so much darker, and it's still nighttime, so I don't get it. But we'll see how it is. I might just have her drive me home, and then just go home herself, and then have Jim bring me over in the morning on Friday to go get my car, which is what I think is going to happen, because I'm not. No, I can't go Friday morning because I have a dermatologist appointment. Well, sometime on Friday, because this thing is, I can't stop playing with it now. It's just like I'm always like, if I'm like this, I'm always, which is not good. It's not good. Danny went to get a gender reveal cake at our favorite bakery, Hodell's, and to share with Brooke's family. And when he went to pick it up, the guy behind the counter, because she said it was for Brooke Carrico, and he says, well, do you know a Danny Carrico? And Danny says, well, I'm Danny Carrico. And he said, oh, I'm Sean's dad. Which Sean was Danny's like best friend growing up. They were like, you wouldn't see one without the other. From the time they were like, trying to think how old they were, 10? No, they were 9 when they met. 9 years old, until even after high school they were friends. But then Sean got married and moved up to Bad Axe, Michigan, and he's got 6 kids. Danny's only got the 2 with the 3rd one on the way, but Sean has 6 kids, and they just kind of, they're friends on Facebook still, but they don't see each other, because Bad Axe is not close. So anyway, they were talking back and forth, and I told Danny, I says, I'm surprised you didn't recognize his dad, because usually I found when I was a lunch mother that when the kids got older, I didn't recognize them because they changed so much, but I pretty much still looked the same. And so they'd say, oh, Mrs. Carrico, I remember when you were my lunch mother. And I'd look at them and I go, I don't remember you. It was like 20 years ago. You've changed so much in 20 years. But anyway, Danny said it was nice seeing him and talking to him. So they got that all, So he was congratulating him on the little girl and that. But like I was saying, I don't know if I said too much about the movie, but the movie was awful. It was just awful. I take it back. I said I've never walked out of a movie. I remember my mother, my sisters, and I went to see some movie with, who was it? It wasn't Reds, because that's with John Malkovich, but it was something with red in the title. And I can't think of the name of it, and I can't even remember who was in it. But it was about, I think John Travolta was in it, I think. I don't remember. It was so long ago. My mother was still alive. It was like in the 80s or 90s. And it was awful. And we left. Danny DeVito was in it too. I remember that. Danny DeVito was in it. I think Warren Beatty, not John Travolta, I think. Anyway, it was an awful movie. And we walked out of that movie. But other than that, I figure I paid, it was a matinee price. We paid $14 for 2 tickets, but it was $14 too much, let me tell you. But it started off with Tom Hanks in this living room of this house, and he's an old man, and he's just sold the house, and he asked the realtor if he could just have a couple minutes to reflect. Could he have 30 minutes left in his house to reflect on his past? And so that she said yes, and so they were showing the history of the house. But what they did, then right away they flashed back to the dinosaurs on the earth. And the dinosaur, I know I got these wrong glasses on because I keep catching all the light from outside. The dinosaurs were roaming the earth, and then all of a sudden a big asteroid hit the earth, and then it became the frozen wasteland of all the ice, and then we had to wait till all the ice melted, and then the ice melted, and then we had all the little trees growing, and then the Revolutionary War started on that site, and they started building the house, and then the Civil War came, and they were finishing the house, and then they flashed back to people living in the house in the 20s, and then back to the Indians roaming the land, and then it went back to the house. It was in the 50s or the 40s, and the guy had just got back from the war, and he was buying the house, and then it flashed back to the Revolutionary War, and then it went flashback. It was like, and I leaned over to Jim and I said, is this movie as bad? Do you think it's going to get any better? And he said, well, I can only hope. So at one point, it was like I said, Tom Hanks was in the very beginning of the movie for maybe a half a minute, maybe a minute. And then he was gone, and he didn't come back in for another 20 minutes. And it was all this other crap going on. And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And so I told Jim, I said, I'm going to the bathroom. He says, well, I'm ready to leave. And I go, oh, so am I. Let's go. And like I said, I've never asked for a refund. And I'm sure because the girl was the manager. I asked to see the manager. She couldn't have been more than 21 or 22 years old. She was young, and she looked at me like the old grandma that I am. And I asked her, I said, I've never walked, at that point I couldn't remember that I did walk out on a movie, but I said, I've never walked out a movie in my life. And I said, this was like the worst movie. And I don't know that it ever happens, or if it does happen. I said, but is there a way I can get a refund or a pass to come to see a better movie? Or am I just shit out of luck? So she just kind of looked at me, and I said, and I know you can't say I'm shit out of luck, but am I shit out of luck? And so she said, no, you're not SOL, but I can give you some free passes. And so she went and got some free passes, and then she gave us a free thing for a free thing of popcorn. I know it was because I'm a grandma. I know that, but you know what? It was that bad. It was, even though it was only $14, it was $14. It was awful. If I was home, I wouldn't have even lasted as long as I did. I would have got up and left Jim with the movie. It was that bad. It was that bad. And the movie reviewer this morning gave it a C+. I thought, I'm not going to trust him anymore. I would have given it a complete F for failure. It was awful. It was awful. The clue should have been that the only clip you ever seen for the movie is him and Robin Wright saying, "Hi, Dad, I'd like you to meet my new girlfriend." That's the only clip you've ever seen, which I can understand now why. Because even when they were on talk shows promoting the movie, they never really showed you a clip of the movie. That is why. It was awful. And the thing is, you will always hear coming out of my mouth the F word, the S word. I'll say shit. I'll say F all the time. I'll say mother, F. I'll say all of that. And it kind of just flows off my tongue like a second language. But you will never hear me use the Lord's name in vain. That to me, just cringes. I just cringe when I hear that. And probably the way people do when I say F words. They have probably the same reaction. But through the movie, the one character from right after the war guy, his guy, he was on quite a bit. He dropped that word like he was sprinkling sugar on in a cup of coffee. It was like, oh my gosh, he just kept throwing it there and throwing it there and throwing it here and throwing it there. And then they'd flash back to somebody else and they'd come back there and he'd be throwing it here. And just for that reason, I didn't want to watch the movie. It was awful. It was awful. But anyway, I'm moving on with my plan. I'm still staying with I did get a lot of steps in because we walked around in the store while Jim was looking for his shoes. Because Jim's like an old lady looking for shoes. It's like, oh my gosh. I walked up and down the aisles while he was looking for his shoes. And then we didn't park close. We parked farther away, but we looked out for parked cars so we wouldn't get hit. And then the theater was like, it was a bigger theater. When we got to the theater, when we were picking the seats, because you pick, I don't know if they do that everywhere, but here you can pick your seats where you're going to sit before you buy the tickets. And when Jim was picking the seats, I said, that's too close to the screen. And he says, no, it's right where we want to be. It's right where we want to be. And I go, no, I don't think so. No, so we bought the tickets for like 2 rows in front of the screen. He thought it was 2 rows and from like up the top and the screen was at the other. Anyway, so when we get there and I'm showing him where the seats are, he says, well, that's too close. And I go, well, those are the seats you picked. But we knew that there wasn't going to be very many people because when you buy the tickets online, you can see how many seats are available. So we went and found the perfect seats that we wanted, and we were just hoping that nobody came in and bought the seats that we were. And there was one guy in the same row with us, and 2 people in front of us, 3, and 2 people behind us, 5. 5 people. 5 people, that was it. So anyway, awful movie. And then, like I said, we walked around the theater, and then when we were waiting for the manager, we were walking around in there, and then we walked to the parking lot. But I'm still walking around the house. I got to get my steps in because it really does seem to be working. It's nice enough I should be walking outside, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But so just got to realize that you're never too old. I'm too old to keep following the same pattern that I've been following for the last 40 or 50 years. So I have to come up with a new plan of action. And I do find that as I'm getting older, I was waiting for it to kick in, and it's finally starting to kick in, is I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I'm not to say that I'm I'm not starving myself, but I'm just kind of don't have the big appetite like I used to have before. Although my body metabolism is so much slower too, so it's kind of, maybe that's why it does that, because your body metabolism slows down, so they tell you don't need eat as much food. Who's to know? That's my thought, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, so yeah. That's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's talk again tomorrow.